Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Today we're going to be testing out all the new balance changes that have came out. This video is going to be in two parts. Part one is going to be on my main channel, which is what you're watching right now. And then part two is going to be on my second channel, which is on screen right now. It's going to be Toxic Drage. So yeah, it's going to be a long video with both parts combined, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let's get straight into the first balance change. So as you guys saw on screen there, Edgar has received 2 buffs and both gadgets have been reduced in cooldown, and now this has gone from about 23 seconds to 21 seconds I think, and then with the cooldown it's like 20 seconds, maybe like 19, 18-ish. I think it's 18 seconds actually with the gear, and I think this will make a little bit of a difference. As you see right now, I got my jump pretty quickly there. Let's see how long it takes. It feels long, but look at that, right into the action. I already have my second gadget already, which is like, you can just notice the change automatically from just the feel of it. And that's already a good thing to have here. Now let's push this BB here right now. There we go. Good aggro from the Mortis here. I think this will make Edgar viable into certain matchups. But the truth is with Edgar, it has no range. And it's still dependent on super. Like a brawler shouldn't really be dependent on super. But yeah, Edgar is. And it's always going to be like that, I feel like. Can we get this kill here? Gotta pop hypercharge here probably. No, and he still scores, really? How did he still score? He just got the ball there by luck. Okay. Let's just jump here so we can go up. Can I fight this guy? I don't think I can. 132, really? Well, that's going to be wraps for that. Let's move on to the next brawler. Next up is Charlie. Charlie's supercharge rate has been decreased from 7 hits to 6 hits, which is going to be a really big difference, hopefully. Well, we'll try it out here, but yeah, after scrimming a few times, Charlie wasn't even picked here because Charlie is still not good here. I think it's only good on pit stop, for example. That's where most pros use it to just defend any aggros here. But maybe Charlie is going to be a little bit underrated. We'll have to see here, but I do like the feel of it so far. We get super already. We don't need it though. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. There we go. All right, so we get the goal already. I have my super now. And I'm actually close to hypercharge. Like 1 super. And like maybe half a super as well. We're already close to hypercharge here. Let's pop it there onto the Mandy. And let's put some spiders down as well so we can get some more pressure. Just keep auto-aiming here. Nice. He's able to clear it out, which is unfortunate. But I think Dynamite's able to break. Dynamite, what are you doing? Why did he just not break the right properly? Okay, but there we go. We get the goal anyways. I think Charlie might actually be a pretty underrated brawler now in the meta, because 6 hits to get super doesn't seem like too much compared to 7. So I'm looking forward to Charlie hopefully being played more. Let's move on to the next one. By the way, I'm going to be going over 5 buffs and 12 nerfs in part 1. And then part 2 would be the other 5 buffs and the other 12 nerfs here, just to balance out both videos in case you guys want to watch them. But yeah, next up is going to be Bo. Bo's hypercharge has been increased in terms of charge rate from 35% to 45%, which is, I think, is a good buff for Bo here. I think Bo was actually pretty underrated in the meta. And now maybe it got the slight edge it needed to just become meta finally. We'll have to see here, but I do think Bo might actually be in a good place now because the damage is pretty good. I think the hypercharge is pretty... Why? Just score, please. Yeah, I think the hypercharge will be pretty good now in terms of being able to cycle it so much and hopefully be able to spam it here because a brawler like Bo does need some sort of ability to be able to spam here. Maybe that's what it is with the mines. And Buzz gets a stun and he gets a goal already. So we didn't get to try out the hypercharge, but as you see, we're pretty close after getting a couple shots off as well, which is not too bad. Let's move on to the next one. Next buff is going to be Ems. Ems' hypercharge rate has gone from 30% to 40%. I don't think this will change anything because Ems has been heavily affected by the the gadget system change. And now it's just so easy to push at Ems because once Ems uses a gadget, you guys know it's not going to get a gadget for another 15, 17, 18 seconds, whatever the cooldown is. And yeah, unfortunately, Ems just, yeah, I don't know what changes you can make here other than reducing the cooldown for the knockback, but it's just so vulnerable against tanks here, which it used to be really good at countering. But now you just don't have a gadget to spam here, and you're just vulnerable when you use it. So there you go, I use it now, and then let's say someone can just keep walking into me, and it's just not going to be good enough. The hypercharge is not strong enough to compensate for the lack of ability that Ems has. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be pretty strong here. And I wish they just did something else because I don't see Ems being meta for a long time. Let's move on to the next brawler. Next buff is going to be Mo. I actually kind of like this, the fact that I'm buffing Mo here. Mo's reload speed has increased from 1.6 seconds to 1.3. I think that's going to be a pretty good change for him. Let's try it out here. I do think the problem with Mo, though, is that he just doesn't deal enough damage in this meta. And with everyone having hypercharges and stuff, which gives you extra shield, I think Mo is still going to be pretty bad. As he's just going to be not dealing enough damage here. It's going to be pretty hard to kill. Maybe I'm wrong though, but I do think Mo just lacks a little bit of damage here. Dealing some good damage though right now. Let's try and survive this. There we go. Give him the ball. I can probably score. There we go. Let's just do this. Just create a knockback opportunity for him. There we go. Nice. But yeah, I think against control brawlers, it won't be too bad. As long as they're like mid-range. For example, Mr. P, I wouldn't count as long range or anything. Mid-range is a pretty good place to put it at. There we go. See, like, look, Moist is pushing me. We do 1k damage only. Imagine that is like a Poco double tank comp or something like that. So I don't think Mo is very reliable in the meta here. But yeah, that's going to be the 5 buffs here. Let's move on to some nerfs. Now, the nerf I'm looking most forward to was going to be Hank. Hank has been finally nerfed here, and they've nerfed the homing of the hypercharge by 50% here. And I think that is a pretty big nerf. Obviously, they have to do a big number because the problem was that when Hank goes into overtime, he was able to team wipe almost every time there, which was not a good thing to have for the game. And I think they learned a lesson here. But yeah, let's see how good the hypercharge is. The map is not very open here. Maybe the Primo can open up the map a little bit so you can see how good or bad the homing is. There we go. We get another nice hit. Okay, let's get this penguin out the way. Don't need penguins. Too many penguins snipe him. Nope, we didn't hit anyone. Okay, we're halfway to our hypercharge. I don't know if they should have nerfed the hypercharge rate as well, because you do get it quite quickly. I think that's one thing they should have done. That would have been a good change to have, but let's see if the hypercharge is actually good. If not, then you don't have to worry about Hank getting hypercharge anymore, which is hopefully what we get. Let's get this super, please. Did I get it? I think I got it. I think the turret is down. Yeah, the turret was down. Liam, where are you going, buddy? Where are you going? Okay, I got my hypercharge in one shot, and I get my super in one shot as well. Nice. There are so many walls though. I don't think I'll get too much value with this. Okay, I got my hypercharge here. I don't know how to use this because the map is pretty open and it's pretty much just not capable of just breaking up the map. Like, he's actually useless. Okay, let's pop it now, I think. Here we go. As you see, the homing, 2 shots went into the wall. So that's already going to tell you how it's going to be in overtime. And yeah, I think Hank's hypercharge is going to be pretty bad now. Unless it's into a free matchup, but I'm glad to see this change here. Let's move on to the next one. Next nerf is one of the most random nerfs I've seen, and it's going to be Stu. Stu's gadget has been reduced from lasting 30 seconds to 10 seconds. And I don't know why they've done this, but I guess it's a pretty good nerf here because now Stu's not going to be very annoying for brawlers like Lou and B, for example. So it's like a pretty big nerf, I would say. So the speed turret did allow Stu to get away into loads of matchups here, but now, look, like my turret's already gone 10 seconds into the game, and you don't get another one until another 10 seconds later. So I guess he was able to spam it quite a lot, and they had to just balance it out, which makes sense, I guess, here. But yeah, that is a pretty big nerf, and I don't know if Stu deserved it. Like, Stu was a pretty good brawler in the meta. I just didn't think it was broken or anything, or like really strong. I thought it was pretty balanced brawler to have. What is this guy doing? But yeah, we'll have to see though, because yeah, I don't know how the train is going to play out. I've already tried it in a scrim, and Stu did feel a lot weaker. Knowing that gadget's going to disappear in 10 seconds as a mid on like Ring of Fire, for example, makes you feel a lot better. And just, you know, you can keep Stu hard stuck. Stu will stay hard stuck a lot longer now, I feel like, and that's going to be a big impact onto him. We'll have to see. But let's move on to the next one. Next up is going to be Mr. P. Mr. P has received a nerf on his hypercharge. His pause now lasts only 10 seconds. So if you place him far back in the map, then you're going to be seeing the pause just disappearing by the time it gets into action here, which I do think is a very unique change, and I definitely see it being really good. So now you can't place it as far back as you'd like, or else you probably don't get any value from the pause, which is nice. And then also they just slightly reduce the movement speed of the pause as well, so it's even harder for them to just climb up the map as quick as they want. I got my pause already, which is good. Let's put it down here. Obviously, this only affects the super pause, I think. I think the normal pause got unchanged, so it's not like a big nerf to Mr. P, but obviously the hypercharge needed some toning down because it's just ridiculous having an army of them. How does that not hit? Okay. It's just so ridiculous having an army of Mr. P boys just running at you and you can't do anything. Let's do this. There we go. We finally get hypercharge here, which is nice. Let's put it here. Here we go. Let's just spam our attacks here as well. And, I mean, Mr. P looks a lot more balanced here. I think it's going to be a very hard change to know, because obviously they're going to just disappear after 10 seconds here. So it's a very hard change to know, and their health depletes pretty quickly, it looks like. Yeah, as you see right now. Yeah, health depletes pretty quickly. It's going to be a lot easier to take it out here. And it shouldn't be that hard of a counter to some things. And now we can concede here. Once we clear that ball, there we go. I don't know why no one's attacked my turret. Like, they literally go into our spawn. And they haven't attacked our turret, which is a bit weird. But there we go. Let's get some more hits. We already have another hypercharge. I wish they reduced the rate. Because once Mr. P gets one hypercharge, the thing I've noticed is that it's pretty easy for him to get a second hypercharge. Because the hypercharge just feeds him so much. And it's just a bit frustrating. It's a bit frustrating to deal with here. Oh, wow. What a nice shot from the BB. That was actually pretty good from him. Let's put this down. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Did you score that? No. Can we score this though? Let's see. Here we go. 1. Okay, maybe I should not use hypercharge here in case we do end up scoring, which we do, I think. We can pass it to him. And that's a goal. Okay, yeah, I should not use my hypercharge, but maybe we don't get into this position. 25 seconds left anyways. Hold on. He whiffed his gadget. BB is running full sprint. Okay, relax, BB, relax. No, why me? Why me? They're gonna score, aren't they? Ankles. Clear it, clear it. Just clear the ball. I know you have ammo. I know you have ammo. Why don't you just clear the ball? Okay, this is not good here. Am I close to a hypercharge? I low-key am. I should probably just save it. Okay, let's do this. I don't know who bro think he is, but let's try and place it here. We catch it, which is good. Nice. We get another kill onto him. Beautiful stuff. We survived here. The porter survived, which is good. We're going to try and push up here. This is a really intense game, actually. Okay, there we go. Can someone help me here? Nice. Good stuff. We get this kill as well. There should be a goal. Please don't choke that. Did he choke it? He choked. Okay, no, he didn't. Alright, never mind. We got the goal. We got the win, which is nice. Let's move on to the next brawler. Alright, I'm going to try and go through them a lot quicker because it is getting a little bit time consuming. But yeah, Sam's hypercharge rate has been reduced from 40% to 20%, which is a pretty decent nerf here. So yeah, people notice that Sam gets his hypercharge basically off one interaction with like a mid-range, like medium health HP brawler, which should not be the case. Like, that was just ridiculous, and I'm glad they've actually nerfed that now. Let's get a glove onto him. There we go. So yeah, by the time I would have already had, I'd say nearly like 2/3 of the way there to my hypercharge, just off those 2 little interactions. But because of the nerfs, it's pretty good. There we go. Let's just get our gloves out again. And yeah, it seems to be going pretty well so far. The nerf seems to be good because I don't have my hypercharge yet. And trust me, guys, when I tell you Sam's hypercharge, you guys already saw a video on it. I made it on my second channel of me just playing around with the Sam hypercharge. You just got it quick. It was so quick and you couldn't stop it. But so far, I don't seem to have it yet, which is good. I'll just walk up here. Let's just do this. There we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. There we go. We survived that. Okay, we nearly get a hypercharge here, but do we score? I think we do score here. Oh, he actually doesn't. Okay. No, 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 no. I went too far up. I'm gonna give up here. Okay, I couldn't snipe off him. Maybe my teammates can score here. I have my hypercharge. I kind of want to use it. Before we move on to the next brawler here. Let's see. Let's see, let's see. Okay, top right. Don't know what's happening up there. There we go. Use it now. Perfect time to use it. Okay. Hello, you're coming to me. Nice. We survived, which is good. Okay, well, it's whatever, but let's move on to the next brawler. Next nerf is going to be B. B's Rattle Hive has been changed from about 20 seconds to 17. No, I mean, it went from 17 seconds to 20 seconds, which I think is a pretty decent nerf. I feel like they could have definitely made it a little bit more harsh. Like maybe 22 seconds would have been a perfect balance to it. Because this gadget is pretty annoying. And with the damage reduction gear, it gets pretty overwhelming. Because if I use a damage reduction gear, not damage reduction, gear reduction gear, which reduces the cooldown, then it's going to go back to like 17 seconds anyways. So I feel like they should do a little bit more so that like the cooldown gear does not counteract the nerf. I think would be like a good way to look at it, but obviously it's very early to say here. I would have also loved for them to nerf the hypercharge a little bit because you do get it quite quickly, which is wish they nerfed the hypercharge rate. But yeah, you get it way too quickly here. But I do think this nerf is going to be pretty good in terms of you know, they try and make the game a little bit more less spammy. Because that's what it's going to. The game's just started to become all about spamming green button, spamming hypercharge, and I think they've acknowledged that because loads of people complained about it. And I think they're finally taking action onto it, which is good to see. But I think that's game over anyways here. Let's move on to the next brawler. Next up is going to be Poco. Poco's heal has gone from 16 seconds to 20 seconds. His first gadget. His second gadget, Protective Tunes, has gone from 11 seconds to 18 seconds, which I'm glad they did because getting a Poco gadget, if you have the cooldown gear, getting it like every 9 seconds ish was a bit ridiculous to have, to be honest. So I'm glad they made that change here, because Poco was just getting a little bit too out of hand, which is too ridiculous here. Unfortunately, I do not have like a matchup here where I can use my cooldown gear, so I'm kind of useless against this. But yeah, in draft, for example, if you go it, it's not going to be as strong as it was because you can't spam it now. You still get it pretty quickly though. So I'm wondering if how the Lu interaction and stuff like this is, because Lu is completely unplayable into Poco. I wonder if that changes now due to the changes. We'll have to see though, but I still think Poco is going to be in a pretty good place. You don't need to worry about him being nerfed badly, because Poco is still a healer and it's still like a really good draft ball, I would say, so you don't need to worry about that. Score here, there we go, should be a goal there, nice. All right, there we go. Let's move on to the next one. Next up we have is Berry. Berry's healing has been reduced by about 10%. Berry's healing mechanic is he heals 50% of the attack damage, and now that's been reduced from 50% to 40%, so it's like a 10% damage heal nerf, I guess. So yeah, we'll see how that impacts the change. I feel like Berry could use a bit more of a you know, nerf, but actually now the number looks a little bit less. It doesn't seem to be doing too much, which is good. I don't really know what's happening here. Why are they spinning? Why are people spinning? Are we really doing this? Do this. Oh, I thought I'd get my thingy off in time. Should be able to kill him though, which is nice. There we go. Okay, we're still healing here, which is pretty good. I guess my damage gear is helping me heal, but yeah, I think the problem with Berry is that you just get your hypercharge too quickly, and I wish they nerfed the hypercharge, but it didn't seem to do any of that. Oh, you're running away. Moist, I was going to heal you, but doesn't seem like you want the heals. But yeah, I do think the problem was Berry, obviously loads of healing, but I do think the hypercharge was also an issue, getting it so quickly. It can be very spammy and very annoying to deal with. That's one thing I wish they changed about it. He's just avoiding my heals, literally. Can I get the ball, please? There we go. Nice. All right. There's not much to talk about with Berry, so let's move on to the next brawler. Next up is Ollie. Ollie received a well-deserved nerf because Ollie was just completely taking over the meta. Ollie's gone from 17 seconds to 20 seconds on his jump gadget, and also his supercharge rate has been gone from 5 hits to 6 hits, which I do think will make a big difference. Like sometimes, you know, 5 to 6 hits doesn't seem like a big difference, but they always add up, and it always seems to be working pretty good as a nerf here. So I do think it's gonna be pretty good. Even though we completely slammed them here. I think maybe they should have nerfed the shield star power. I think the shield star power is a bit too much here. And maybe the fact that he has a bit too much HP for a tank that actually has a little bit of range and has a dash mobility. Like, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I do think they could have done a little bit of change on that. That would have been nice. But let's see. Start my gadget here now. Okay, there we go. Can we get the kill? Okay, nope. We're not going to score here, are we? Yeah, we're not going to score here. But yeah, I'm glad they nerfed Ollie here. Do you think they could have just nerfed the HP a little bit? I think the HP or like the decaying shield is a bit of a problem in terms of it's very hard to, you know, once Ollie gets going, it's very hard to stop him. And also they had to do something about like being able to the super and jump. If you guys don't know what I mean, I'll show you in a bit. If I just do this, for example. Okay, if I just do this. Oh no, he ruined it! So basically you super and you jump and you can't stop the stun no matter what here, which is like a broken mechanic in my opinion. And I feel like they should just try and nerf that. I don't know how you change that because it's like a super mechanic. It's not really something you can just change instantly or like very easily, I guess. There we go. We got paralyzed straight out of that. And we get the kill into here. But yeah, I think that's my thoughts on Ollie here. Ollie's still going to be a top brawler. I think he's definitely still top 5. Something along those lines here, which is obviously a good strong point to have. I'm going to show you guys the mechanic here with Ollie. Give me my super, please. Okay, we're 1 away from super. Give me super, give me super. Okay, there we go. Let's just do this. And then we do that. And then when you land, you get an automatic stun. And then it's just very annoying to deal with here. It's just super hard to deal with. And there we go. We get the win here. That's why I'd like to see change in the next time. Or whenever next balances and stuff. Because it's a mechanic you just can't stop, and I feel like it's just too broken. Let's move on to the next brawler. Next up is Melodie. Melodie's hypercharge rate has been nerfed from 35% to 25% here, which is, I think it's a good change. I would like some other changes though, because I think this hypercharge is still a little bit too strong in my opinion. I don't think it should be able to completely team. Like, I just don't get why these hypercharges all have the ability to team wipe. Like, I know it's a hypercharge, but you get it multiple times in a game. And the brawler, for example, Melodie was good as well before that. And it's just super annoying to have these type of brawlers that you can't do anything about when they have hypercharge. Like, there's very little brawlers that can stop the mechanics, which is kind of dumb. Yeah, like, as you see right now, I would have got my hypercharge. Well, I would have got it probably about now, I'd say, which would have been bit of a problem, but it seems like the nerf is pretty solid for the most part. Like the fact I've been going so aggro and I don't have a hypercharge yet is a pretty good thing in my opinion. So that's a good thing to see. But still, I can't believe he avoided me. Okay, we just saved that here actually. We got hypercharge soon. Charlie has super. We can try and get that baited out. Nice from the Morris. Oh, I thought I timed that perfectly. Okay, we got hypercharge in one here. And also they have to do something about respawning and you can just dash with Melodie. I don't know what they can do with that, but that was just something stupid. Okay. Let's do that. There we go. Completely wrecked him. And he completely wasted super there. We just kill him here. And there we go. That is why Melodie's hypercharge is still going to be one of the strongest in the game here. It's just too good. It's just too good. Let's move on to the next brawler. Now, Juju has received a nerf. Juju's second gadget has been reduced from the cooldown from, I think it was... I don't know what it was actually, but it's been reduced to 17 seconds. And also this shield star power, not star power, gadget where you just pop it. It used to be a 50% shield, now it's been reduced to 30%, which I think is so good because honestly, Juju was so good at knockout for the sole reason that when you make it to endgame, you survive and win most of the time because you have a 50% shield, which, you know, it's very, very hard. Like having a 50% shield that lasts for a long time was a bit ridiculous, and it was like honestly very hard to kill a Juju in endgame with whatever brawler you have. Unless it was high DPS, which in knockout, you don't tend to have high DPS brawlers. You tend to have brawlers with good HP and good range, and you just try and fight it out. But Juju was like an exception where, you know, you just do this, you pop a shield, bang, 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 you just tank everything, walk up to a B, survive. Yeah, it's just a bit no skill, and I'm guessing to try and reduce all the no skill stuff, which is why they've done this change, which I like quite a lot here. So yeah, I think this change is going to be really good, and you should probably see a lot less Juju in the meta now, which is a good thing. Let's move on to the next brawler. And the final nerf for this part one, the second part, like I said, will be on my second channel, is going to be Janet. Janet has received a hypercharge nerf rate of 50% to 40%, which I think is a pretty good nerf. I feel like they could have done not 75%, 35%. I think that would have been a good sweet spot. And I don't know what they could have done. Maybe they could have reduced the damage a little bit, but a bit hard to say because the gadget, I mean the hypercharge is sometimes a little bit hard to hit all your shots with, but people who do know how to do it, it's a bit broken. This is one of the things about how the game is now. For example, let's say we have a max hypercharge. I've had scenarios where in scrims and stuff, I get a max hypercharge within 9 seconds of starting a Brawl game or something like that. And then there's people who would never even get a hypercharge for max throughout the whole game. And this is the thing with gadgets and hypercharges and stuff and supers, is that how it is for the average player base is completely different to how it is for the pro player base, because, you know, it's not the same. It's literally nowhere near the same here. I kind of whiffed that hypercharge, but I think we scored. No, we don't. Okay, yeah, but it's literally not the same here. It's a lot harder to get your hypercharges as a casual player because your aim is probably a lot worse and stuff, and your awareness. But as a pro, you probably get a couple hypercharges in a game on a brawler most of the time here, and that's just one thing that's tough to balance here, because if they were to nerf some hypercharges where it takes longer to get them, then a casual player would not get a hypercharge throughout the whole game in probably 10 games in a row or something because of how hard it would be to get. That's just my thoughts on this and why they just can't balance like stuff like crazily, but I still think they're doing a pretty good job at it. But yeah, anyways, that's wrapping up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to go watch part 2 on my second channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.